Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing okay in your part of the world today. So in my last video, I reacted to 5 Points Vid's video, college basketball's most cheatingest moments. They did a college football version, and this one's called college football's most cheatingest moments. So let's get to it, Sean Scribers.
We ran across a troubling story in the Washington Post not long ago, and quite frankly, we had to read it twice to make sure it wasn't a joke. Apparently, some 36 schools in Division 1A offer courses in football.
Ah yes, cheating and college football. Two words that go hand in hand. Actually, that's three words. And when it seems like the governing body of your sport is more greedy than a defensive back for the Cleveland Browns, well, there's gonna be cheating both on and off the gridiron. Mostly off. And today we're gonna find out all about that. NCAA football's most cheatingest moments ranked are coming up right after that. Cheatingest, which is totally a word, defines a team trying to gain a competitive advantage by, cheating. So sex scandals are not included. Baylor and Penn State fans, you can relax, but Art Briles and Jerry Sandusky can rot in hell. Did you know that sign stealing in college football is 100% legal? As long as you do not use electronic devices, you can thief all the plays you want in one of the few things the NCAA gets right. Except one team, the Oregon Ducks, aren't into sharing. In 2015, they put up curtains on the sidelines to hide their signals from the notorious spying of ASU. Other teams have complained, but as long as the curtains don't block the cheerleaders, we're good. In one of the most bizarre cheating scandals, Wake Forest was rocked with turmoil in 2016 when former Demon Deacon player, coach, and radio announcer Tommy Elrod was sending inside information to other teams about the program. I mean, it's bad enough Wake Forest is the Vandy of the ACC, but man, what did they do to Elrod? Oh, in 2013, he was fired by the team, but was given access to the squad to prepare for his broadcast. After this was found out, Elrod was obviously fired again. Louisville and Virginia Tech both admitted they got his inside information. In 2013, Johnny Manziel, fresh off a Heisman-winning season in which he beat Alabama, found himself in hot water after he had an autograph session and made some money off of his own likeness. Manziel was allegedly paid $7,500, even though the campus bookstore was making hundreds of thousands selling his jersey. But even with a crap ton of evidence, Manziel, who could have been ineligible for the entire season, was only suspended 2 games, just in time for the Alabama rematch. Ah, the NCAA. Weird videos weren't the only thing that followed around 2016
I remember this.
Draft pick Laramie Tunsil. Apparently, illegal payoffs also were involved with the former Ole Miss guard. Prior to plummeting on draft night because of a video of him taking a milk hit with a gas mask on, he had missed much of the 2015 season due to allegations he took money from agents. Tunsil later admitted this and alleged he got money from the Ole Miss program directly, which was slapped with 13 rules violation.
Yeah.
Jack Handy said, "You shouldn't criticize a man until you walk a mile in his shoes. That way, you're a mile away from him and you have his shoes." But it was shoes that were at the centerpiece of a scandal in Wisconsin when they got 5 years of probation in 2001 when a local store, the Shoebox, gave over $23,000 in discounts to over 157 athletes. Coaches and staff were reprimanded, and as a result, head football coach Barry Alvarez got promoted to athletic director. Urban Meyer isn't a stranger to hiding things under a rug, but at Florida, Herb had no problem turning a blind eye to criminal activity. From 2005 to 2010, his players were arrested at least 31 times, and many were below academic standards. One of those guys, Aaron Hernandez. However, Meyer won 2 ships, one with his Jesus-loving deodorant, then ran from UF to OSU after faking a heart attack. 1993 was a special year for the Noles. Behind future point guard Charlie Ward, they won the big one. But prior to their lone loss in South Bend, the players were given an unlimited shopping spree in a Tallahassee Foot Locker, indirectly by agent Nate Seabram. The players got about $6,000 worth a year, and Steve Spurrier called FSU Free Shoes University. The NCAA gave them 1 year of probation, and now, 20 years later, they suck. If you're gonna cheat, win. Well, Syracuse University didn't figure that second part out. In 2015, it was discovered that a local YMCA was paying players from 1996 to 2006, giving cash and free gym memberships. So the NCAA stripped Syracuse football of its wins in 2006. All 5 of them. That really showed them. You know what Michigan fans remember about Rich Rodriguez? Nothing. But many of you have forgotten that in 2010, Michigan slapped themselves with 2 years of probation for improper practices. Apparently, practices were running a little too long in Ann Arbor, and that's somehow a rule violation. And when Michigan found out about it, they punished themselves for it. Something they did when they hired Rich Rodriguez. What's the best way to deal with the problem? Run from it, of course. In 2010, OSU star Terrell Pryor and a few other players got popped for selling their championship rings, jerseys, and getting free tattoos. They were suspended for 5 games. Pryor said fuck that and declared for the draft, where he was punished by being selected by the Raiders. All would have been good, but Coach Jim Tressel covered up some of it so his players could be eligible, and he got fired for it. He is now the president of Youngstown State University. Florida fans probably remember Ron Zook before the late Charlie Pell, who had 5 years of success at UF from 1979 to 1984, posting a 33, 26, and 3 record. However, in '85, the school was found to have committed 107 violations, including letting walk-ons stay in the athletic dorm. The horror! He was also spying on other teams and handing out gifts, and was subsequently fired. Pell never coached again and spiraled into depression, ultimately dying of lung cancer in 2001 at the age of 60. What are the things impressionable teenage males like? Is it copies of Hunger Games? No, it's strippers, drugs, sex, and alcohol. From 1997 to 2004, the Colorado Buffaloes knew their market. The university was cleared of any direct wrongdoing, but cited with a lack of oversight for the whole situation. They had to make stricter recruiting rules, which I'm sure prohibited the use of alcohol, sex, or drugs. Remember when Alabama used to suck? Well, some of that had to do with Albert Means, a highly recruited player from Memphis who accepted nearly $150,000 in bribes and cash to come play for the Tide in 2000. After an FBI investigation, Alabama booster Logan Young was convicted of providing the money, and the school suffered a 2-year bowl ban and 5 years probation. Alabama wasn't alone in the scandal. Several other schools also bid for Albert's services, and they got caught too. Alabama's rival Auburn isn't immune to cheating, except their scandal is much more bizarre. After years of receiving payments and gifts from Auburn boosters and fueled by the notion that head coach Pat Dye was racist, defensive back Eric Ramsey began recording himself receiving said gift. He made over 70 of these tapes, including video, and then sent them to the Montgomery Advertiser.
I've got this for you. You know what the country store was. All right, y'all meet me there at, what, 7:30? Yes, sir.
At the country store, Ramsey says Young handed him $300.
I tell you what, I needed that bad. Thanks for the $300. Got it yesterday. Okay. All right.
Pat Dye resigned and Auburn was put on probation, and in 1993 they went undefeated but was not bowl eligible. A quick reminder, don't forget to check out ButcherBox at the end of this video. FSU finds itself again on this list, as in 2006 and 2007, 61 athletes got caught cheating on tests. Tutors were taking all the online exams for the athletes in one of the most convenient scandals ever. As punishment, FSU was forced to vacate 12 wins from the 2006-2007 seasons. You can use sex and drugs, but don't you dare have someone do your internet test for you. With a life full of ups and downs, Maurice Claret's time at OSU was certainly a down one. Well, off the field. After Claret and the 2002 Buckeyes won the BCS, trouble followed. He was dismissed from the team in 2003, then was investigated for illegal gifts, cash, and benefits he received from boosters. Though not related to OSU, trouble followed Claret after his bust in the NFL, a robbery conviction, and jail time. Claret is now a political activist and advocate for mental health. William and Mary was founded in 1693, and 258 years later, they did what any good American college football team does: cheat. And in a problem that is common today, Notre Dame, the school realized their academic standards were too high to attract good football players. You don't say. From 1951 to 1954, the tribe falsified transcripts and won a bunch of games. Once the scandal broke, the faculty took it upon themselves to reinforce their academic standards, and they have sucked ass at football ever since. Jack Sherrill was a successful head coach, and when he got accused of giving away benefits and cars at Mississippi State in 2003, he resigned. However, he wasn't happy about it. In fact, he maintained his innocence and fired a lawsuit back at the NCAA, stating that their unfair investigation made it impossible for him to get another job. In 2004, the allegations were officially dropped the same year of his suit. It was finally settled in July of 2019. The terms were not discussed. Good for Jack. It took a while for Miami to get here, but from 1989 to 1992, over 57 players defrauded the government in a massive Pell Grant scheme led by advisor Tony Russell. The scheme involved the falsification of paperwork and resulted in over $412,000 in excessive financial aid handed out to players that didn't need it. The school served a one-year postseason ban. Your tax dollars at work.
Get one game ball defense, you get 2 game balls. You know, it's a team game. It's a total team effort and team game. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Barry Switzer, as crazy as the day is long, and as cheatingest as pretty much every other successful coach. In 1989, after accusations of giving improper benefits to recruits and as quarterback selling cocaine to an FBI agent, Switzer resigned and quietly laid low. Oklahoma was put on probation, and then 5 years later, Switzer resurfaced with the Dallas Cowboys and was just as crazy. Service academies are hard work. Many who are even worthy enough to get in don't finish. Their first year, that is. In 1951, West Point had a hell of a football team. They won games, but underneath it all, they were cheating. On the academic side, that is. The team had created an inner circle to stay eligible, and when they got caught, 37 players had to be let go for violating the code. The movie, Code Breakers, was made to tell the story. In Chapel Hill, there would be cheating that was much less sophisticated than cadets sharing information. It was more like the athletes weren't doing much at all, but still getting A's. In 2012, a widespread scandal was discovered at UNC in which players didn't go to class and had systemic usage of tutors taking tests on behalf of athletes. Throw some gifts and cash in there for good measure. It's almost like athletes aren't good at studying but are yet still somehow good at sports. After conducting their own investigation, which is like going through your phone in front of your girlfriend and saying, "We good," no penalties were levied against UNC. There may never be another player in college like Reggie Bush, a dominant back that could run and catch. He couldn't outrace his past. A past that accepted nearly $300,000 in bribes, caused his team to vacate their 2005 championship and all their wins, and ultimately had Bush mail back his Heisman Trophy. Though vacating wins is the dumbest thing ever. All that shit happened. We know it happened. Pete Carroll left for the NFL, where he doesn't have to worry about a player's eligibility.
I already know what number one is.
Most boosters
it should be
have the
obvious.
extra income because they have what we call old money. Well, at the U between 2002 and 2010,
Yeah.
one booster was basically stealing cash and giving it to the squad.
Dwayne Johnson.
Shapiro gave TVs and jewelry to the likes of Vince Wilfork, Antrell Roll, Devin Hester, and Willis McGahee. The $2 million he doled out was nothing compared to his $930 million Ponzi scheme, which ultimately landed his ass in jail. The program would lose 13 players, receive 3 years probation, and lose 9 scholarships. However, Michael Irvin is still permitted to do this. And now for our most cheatingest moment in
It should be
college
obvious.
football history. One thing that is common among most of the previously listed infractions is the fact that if the NCAA wanted to, they could have imposed what is nicknamed the death penalty, a complete program shutdown. Meant to discourage impropriety, the consequence has only been used once since its inception.
College football tonight has a new scandal. Once again, it involves Southern Methodist University.
SMU.
One SMU player said he was given money to play.
In the late 1970s and 80s, the Southern Methodist University Mustangs had deep squads that featured NFL talent. A repeat offender, SMU had been placed on probation 5 times between 1974 and 1985. But in 1987, the NCAA had enough. After 2 players made their payments public and a slush fund was uncovered, it was brought to light that the entire admin of the college knew about the cheating, and that was the straw that broke the Mustangs' back. The NCAA issued the death penalty to SMU, canceling the entire 1987 season and eventually the 1988 season. The Stangs have never fully recovered. Since then, 31 D1 schools have committed violations worthy of the death penalty, and not one of them has received it, proving that the NCAA is about as toothless as a 90-year-old eating pudding. They say cheaters never win, oh but they do, and in the NCAA, they don't even get punished. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to check out ButcherBox and go to the link below and get your special deal on unbelievably good meat. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.
But yeah, that UM alumnus was Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, he played football before he became the great one. There. But yeah, if you follow college football history, you know that the death penalty had to be number 1 from SMU. It just had to be. Like this video if you like college football, and comment below where who you root for, and if there was any cheatingest moments in college football that this guy didn't cover. Comment below what it was if you don't mind by sharing. Well guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for loving and supporting this channel, and I encourage you to do so even more. I'm going to close this off here, but do please subscribe at the bottom for more content. Don't forget to like and share this video. Also hit that bell below to keep up to date with my video releases and posts. Also comment below on a video you think I should react to next. And as always, guys, take care, and God bless everybody.